Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 83 review. Once again, that is going to be episode 83 review of Hunter x Hunter. Now, this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter. Yo, man. Kite is very powerful, to say the least. Alright, let's be honest, alright? I mean, you would think that a hunter who was able to find Jin Freaks, which apparently, you know, is like a really hard thing to do, because he's Jin Freaks. He goes ghost sometimes, right? He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ghost on some Danny Phantom shit. Can't find him. But he's able to find him. He learned from Jin Freaks, and even though he quote-unquote got a bad spin, this is like several levels up from that gun he used prior when he got I believe it was roll 4 when he got that gun. This is roll 2, and he does this attack. And in the manga, I don't think that this attack was named in the manga, but the end result's the same, where it's like everything within a certain radius gets like sliced in two. And I believe it was called the Silent Vault's Grim Reaper dance, and he just goes like, yeah, and like there's like a miniature cyclone. This shit goes like up into the sky. It highlights the moon like kina, and then it's like everyone around him's cut in half. So very impressive, very impressive. But the episode overall had very important moments aside from that part. And one very thing to notice, all right, is that when we have, like, when they were surrounded, because Hagia is talking to his boys, right? And Hagia, he's telling them that the rare ones, the rare food, is either near the factory or in the factory. And, in fact, they're near the factory still. And Hagia is talking to the other, I believe that his two friends are also squadron leaders, I'm not too sure. But either way, he talks to those two, his two buddies, and explains how we're just using the captains so we can stall for time and we can get there so we can consume the rare ones ourselves. Because, you know, they want to eat the rare ones, because the rare ones, they taste delicious, quote unquote. They have so much life energy where when you eat them, it's like, oh my god, the life force. So they want to consume them. Now, the thing about it is that that's very important, because it shows you the individualism and how the individualism is overcoming the foundational Chimera Ant aspect, which was the whole unity and teamwork thing. In fact, in the episode itself, Kite says this, where he actually, because when that frog dude came in there like a cannon, and then he gave them like the list of 3 options: either 1, one-on-one fight; number 2, run away and try to run away; and number 3, give up. Kite, he's thinking to himself about how it appears that the individualism that they've gained from consuming humans is now greater than their loyalty to the queen, and this they can use to their advantage, especially when it comes for the progression of combat ability with Gon and Killua, which is why they did the one-on-one, because the more Gon and Killua fight, the greater their combat progress will be, because they're fighting in situations where they must kill these creatures in order to survive. I mean, Gon, he's very on that, but Killua, he has no problems at all. And plus, it gives them opportunities to hone their skills while they go and invade or at least try to invade the Chimera Ant home base, the nest. And that's very important. So overall, that's like the Gon and Killua part, and the Gon Killua Kite part. And that part's very important, because even though they're Chimera Ants and they serve the queen, when Gon was fighting against that one guy, again, this is also reinforced when he's fighting against that one, what's that creature called? It's not a mole. It's like a, what's it called, man? Yo, it's almost like an armadillo. Like rolls up to the ball, like that guy. I forgot, Bargo, whatever his name was, right? He explains, like, when he's talking to Gon, he says, "Do you know how he killed humans? not because we like eating them that much, or because we want to feed to the queen. More so, we just like to do it. It's like we just like to fucking do it, or at least he does. He explains how he loves the sound of the intestines coming out of their mouths, like they're vomiting, like they're throwing up, and he likes that plopping sound. And so like the individual aspects and the individual characteristics of the humans that make up their genome, the individualism is overcoming the pre-established follow the queen mentality, and that's very important. And Kite is definitely using it to his advantage. And so that's number one. Number one, I'll give it good. Number two, we see a little scene here at the beginning of the episode with Chairman Netero, and basically it's kind of like, okay, well, in a nutshell, the world leaders want this situation to be dealt with as quickly as possible, and they are giving the Hunter Association. They're giving the Hunter Association they're giving the Hunter Association the task of doing that. However, Chairman Netero also realizes that because of this situation, the Hunter Association, if anything wrong happens, if anything bad happens, the Hunter Association will be the ones that take the fall, that take the blame, and there's already been a number of casualties. So, and that's why Chairman Netero has sent people to deal with it, which is why we get another scene. So that's number two. Number three, we get another small scene of Kite's friends, and like the cook guy and the other people, and basically the guy with the glasses, like the small guy with the glasses. He's explaining the whole entire Chimera Ant system, and the way it works is very simple. All right, we have initially it's the queen on top. After the queen is the royal guard. After on some type of Killua, on some bleach it. Though granted, this did come out first, alright? So, just saying. So, again, Queen, Royal Guard, Squadron Leaders, Captains, then Grunts. That's the way it's system. And then when the King is born, things shift over. But not entirely. When the King is born, the King has the Royal Guard directly underneath him. However, the squadron leaders and the captains still remain with the queen, and then the king goes through the process of breeding with other creatures, and then thus increasing the genetic gene pool, and thus making new queens from other species. That's the way it operates. That's the way it works, and that's why the reproductive rate is so goddamn fast. And so that was the main gist of that small little part of the episode. And there's a scene with that one girl who's always chewing the gum. She notifies her friends that the Hunter Association, they have sent the quote-unquote punitive forces, the first wave of people to deal with this epidemic, this threat to human civilization, the Chimera Ants. So that's part 3. And the last part is, again, a very important part of the episode, where we have Rama. Yo, this guy he's awesome. Like, I don't know why, but I find him so funny. Because Rama, he's pulling the Super Saiyan. Like, yeah, he's ecstatic. And he has this face where, like, he has such a, like, euphoric, like a face of ecstasy. Like, yeah, like, he's loving it. He's like, oh, he just can't wait. And the thing about it is that, again, Colt says, what they can do, we can do too. And he understands that Rama just didn't get this way by coincidence. There had to be a catalyst. And that catalyst, he remembers, or he makes the assumption, that the catalyst was when Gon and Killua attacked him with Nen. And again, I explained before how initially it was the same concept as what Wing did with Gon and Killua back in that one arc, where they were training with Wing. And how Wing took his own Nen and fused it into Gon and Killua to awaken their Nen. And the same thing happened, but of course that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to kill Rama. But in fact, Rama got saved by Colt. And the thing about it is that so when Gon punched him, some of the Nen that Gon used infused with Ramont and thus awakened Ramont's own Nen. And Colt saw that, and Colt demanded that Ramont punch him. And this is where shit got real funny, because it was like Ramont was looking at Colt. He had this like sleek back smile, and he's like, he's like, Colt, I've been really pissed off with you as of late, so I ain't gonna hold back. And then, Colt said, well, I wouldn't have it any other way. And then Ramont, he's like, yeah. And then this motherfucker, like this cockback was so weird. It's like this dude, he was standing up 90 degrees, and then he goes from that. Like, back, like, seriously, like, he just cocks back down to, like, 320. Like, he's like, yeah! And I'm like, what is he doing? He's like, yeah! And then he just slams, he punches his motherfucker so hard, bro. Like, like, it was ridiculous. And he was so ecstatic. He was like, yeah, I get a fucking punch Colt, yeah! And after that, we have a scene where he's talking to Pengy, right? And then Pengy's saying how, well, we need to start learning about this new ability, because if we can hone this life force with our own unique ability, with our own attributes, then we can even get, then we can get even more stronger. And Colt, who just got his shit rocked, still conscious, he's like, yo, remember Zazan? Apparently she caught this rare breed, and it should be in the, I think it's called the prepare quarters. I don't know, whatever. Like, like where they have all their food. And they're gonna go there, and they're gonna find the rare breed. And remember, the rare breed is Pokemon. So, and they're gonna go find him, and they're gonna go see if they can find Poco, and they're gonna see, yo, like, what the fuck is this life force shit? So that's the episode overall. And I think the part that I enjoyed the most, I mean, well, for my personal opinion, all right, my personal take on it is, like, I just like Ramont and the boys. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say that what Kite didn't do wasn't epic. It was pretty damn cool. It was cool. It was awesome. The waltz. We have Gon, like, actually, kill a Chimera Ant here. He actually crushed, like, yeah, like that armadillo dude. Of course, Killua, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Took his guy out real quick, just fucking doing the, I forgot what that step was called, but like very quiet, making multiple images of himself, and then he basically, like, the guy had hardened skin, and then Killua attacked the same spot repeatedly over and over and over again. Like, with lightning attacks, he charted, the skin area cracked, he did the fucking thing, pierce, fuck you, very easy. And then Kite, of course, he did his, again, his silent waltz, Grim Reaper dance. So that was all nice, that was all awesome. But I just like Ramont. Like, I think he's hilarious. I think the dude is hilarious. And again, the whole entire premise of the Chimera Ants is overwhelmingly horrifying, because they adapt far too quickly. They adapt far too. Ramont was already to the point where he could actually take his Nen, take his Nen, and move it to other parts of his location. He's already using, I believe it's called Ken. He's already using, like, Ken. I think is it Ken? Maybe, I'm not sure. He's already doing it. He's like, yeah, like, he's just standing up and shit, like, doing, like, weird, like, ballerina poses. And he's moving the Nen to, like, his foot, his hand, his chest. It's like, what the fuck, bro? So, that's very important to know. Very important to know. That's horrifying. And all the while, having a face of ecstasy. Like, he is so happy. He's just like, yeah. So, that part to me was the best part. I mean, but obviously, people disagree. Obviously, no doubt. But to me, personally, that's the best part. But overall episode, I'm going to give it it's a good episode. It's, once again, a good episode of Hunter x Hunter. A good episode. Good plus. Yeah, let's bump it up. Good plus. Why not? Fuck it. It's Togashi. Good plus. So, I'm done. King of Lightning. And by the way, I've been rereading the Chimera Ant arc in the manga. And truth be told, initially I thought that at the rate the anime is going, initially I thought that it was going to be over around episode 100. You know, I'm wrong on that. I'm completely wrong. I forgot just how long the Chimera Ant arc is. It's a long-ass arc. And there are a lot of scenes in the manga with tons of exposition and talking. And those take quite a bit in the actual anime. So, I'm going to probably say on episode 1, give me 140, 130, 140, around there. Yeah. That's where I'm assuming that the anime is going to catch up or be done with the Chimera Ant arc. And I'll leave it at that. So, King of Lightning, be sure, of course, to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.